A recent survey by the Commonwealth Fund found that 30% of seniors said they received at least 7 phone calls a week about Medicare during open enrollment. But did you know that that's all completely illegal? Hi, I'm Larry Goist, owner of LMS Insurance Group, where we help seniors navigate the Medicare maze. So in today's short video, I'm telling you guys all about the annoying, harassing phone calls you receive about Medicare year-round. And I'm going to go over 3 real basic topics. So number 1, I'm going to tell you which of these calls are actually illegal. Number 2, I'm going to tell you which of these calls are legal. And then thirdly, I'm going to give you some tips to what you could do to avoid this harassment. And that's all coming up next. Okay, so which of these calls are actually illegal? Well, for starters, any call you receive about Part D or Part C Medicare Advantage plans, if you did not request the information, that call is illegal. So when you get an inbound call and someone's telling you about extra Medicare benefits, flex benefits, food cards, those are all things that are found in Medicare Advantage plans. So if you did not ask for the information, that is an illegal solicitation. Okay, so what do I mean about did you ask for the information? Well, for it to be an unsolicited call, that means that you didn't do anything to create that call, meaning you did not fill out a mailer. So you could see on the screen here, I'm showing you an example of something that seniors get in the mail all the time. If you fill out one of these mail pieces, you sign it and send it back in, then you asked for that company to call you. Okay, now in the digital world we live in, anything you opt into about Medicare, so if you're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and you fill out a form, on the bottom of those forms, you are giving the consent of that insurance agency or that insurance agent to reach out to you. So there are basically 2 ways that you are asking to be solicited. Number 1, you're filling out a mailer, you're signing it and returning it. Or number 2, you're filling out some kind of solicitation online. This could be through a text message, this could be on a website, this could be on Facebook, but you actually entered your information, a phone number, an email, and your name into a form that requested the information. Now, if you did not do one of those 2 prior things, you didn't fill out a mailer and you did nothing online, then every call you get about Part C Medicare Advantage and about Part D prescription drugs is 100% illegal. The agent, the agency, the marketer is prohibited from doing that. Okay, now another form of solicitation that is completely illegal is door-to-door solicitation about Medicare. So whether you returned a postcard like the previous section or you filled out a lead on Facebook, no matter what you did, it is illegal for somebody to come to your door and knock if it's about Medicare. It doesn't matter if you opted in for them to call you. So if anybody shows up at your doorstep, by nature, that is an illegal marketing activity. And then I think the third violation would be if you accidentally opted in to a marketing piece on Facebook or online, but then you use the opt-out function. So if you hit stop, or if you called that company and opted out, said I no longer want to receive these types of marketing calls, then anything you would receive in the future from them, in essence, would be an illegal marketing activity. Okay, so what types of calls about Medicare are legal? Well, this is where the gray area comes in. This is what, in my opinion, has caused all the problems. Look, complaints to CMS about unsolicited calls are up 3-fold from 2019. There is almost 40,000 annual complaints about these calls, and in my opinion, this is where it all starts. So CMS, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, look at Medicare supplements and Medicare Advantage plans differently. So the way so many companies get around these rules is they tell you, or they will tell the person that is investigating them, they tell you that they are calling you for a Medicare supplement. So you are allowed to solicit, you are allowed to cold call for Medicare supplements. Now, Medicare supplements are also called Medigaps, they're called Plan G, and they're called Plan Ns. They used to be called plans like F and C. So anytime you're hearing a lettered plan, a G, an N, it is likely that they're talking about a Medicare supplement. And those calls are legal. But that's how these agencies and these advertising organizations are able to get away with what they're getting away with. Because in turn, they can solicit you Medicare Advantage, but they could turn around and say, well, no, that call was about Medicare Supplement. So it is important. Medicare Supplement and Medicare Advantage are two completely different things. And right now, CMS prohibits the solicitation of Medicare Advantage, but they do not prohibit the solicitation of Medicare Supplement. And I think that's what's caused so much gray area and so many issues over the past decade. And a second call that would be legal, again, is anything that you opted into. So if you got on a forum on Facebook, YouTube, the internet, or you filled out a business reply card, then whether you knew it or not, you asked for that insurance agent or that insurance agency to solicit you. You gave them consent to cold call you at that point because you had opted in to a form. Okay, so what can you do to stop this type of illegal solicitation? So if anybody illegally solicits you, so if they start talking about Part C Advantage plans, or talking about food cards, flex cards, or anything like that, if you did not request the information, by nature, this is an illegal solicitation. So what I would do, I would go along with the call, and I would get that insurance agents, I would get their national producer number. So as a licensed insurance agent, everybody is assigned a national producer number that's in the insurance database. And if you don't have this identifier, it is going to be almost impossible to hold that person accountable. So if I were you, I would go through the first minute of the call, I would stop and I would say, excuse me, Mr. Salesperson, I like to know who I'm talking to. Can I at least know your name? And then I want to make sure you're a real agent. Can you please give me your national producer number? Once you have that agent's name and national producer number, now you have enough information to actually make a complaint. With that information, I would call 1-800-MEDICARE, or I would call the FCC, the Federal Trade Commission, and I would file a complaint with both agencies. But if you have that agent's national producer number and you call Medicare and file a complaint, that is going to be your best chance that whoever made that solicitation, that they have to go through some kind of recourse or some kind of repercussion for their illegal solicitations. But if you simply call Medicare and say, hey, I keep getting calls, so-and-so called me, if you don't have the producer's name or their national producer number, it is very likely that nothing could be done because they don't know who to hold responsible. So guys, to conclude, I don't know that there's any way to absolutely stop the calls. But if you want to hold people responsible from their solicitations and their harassing behavior, there is certainly small things you could do about it. You can get that insurance agent or agency's name and national producer number, and you're able to actually file a complaint with Medicare. If Medicare finds that this is a substantiated complaint, they're going to make that agent or that agency go through recourse. That recourse could be trainings, it could be a fine, it could even be a revocation of their license. But you have to have their name and national producer number if you really want to affect any change. So guys, I hope that was helpful. I'll talk to you next time. Larry Goist, LMS Insurance Group. Thanks.